Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My dear brothers and sisters, Ramadan is a month of mercy, forgiveness, and salvation from the hellfire. Among all the nights of Ramadan, there is one night that is more valuable than 1,000 months. That blessed night is Laylatul Qadr, the night of decree. Allah tells us in the Qur'an that worship on this single night is better than worship for more than 83 years. Subhanallah, imagine the reward of praying, making dua, and remembering Allah on such a powerful night. But many people ask an important question: how can we recognize Laylatul Qadr? While the exact date is hidden, Islamic teachings mention certain signs that may appear during or after that blessed night. Today, let's reflect on 4 signs of Laylatul Qadr. Laylatul Qadr, also known as the night of decree, is one of the most powerful and blessed nights in the entire year for Muslims. It occurs during the last 10 nights of Ramadan and holds a special place in Islam because of the immense mercy, blessings, and rewards that Allah grants on this night. Allah mentions the greatness of this night in the Qur'an and tells us that Laylatul Qadr is better than 1,000 months. When we reflect on this, it means that worship performed on this single night is more valuable than worship done for more than 83 years. This shows how incredibly generous and merciful Allah is toward His servants, giving them opportunities to earn tremendous rewards in a very short time. Laylatul Qadr is also the night when the Qur'an was first revealed to the Prophet Muhammad through Angel Jibreel. This makes the night even more significant because it marks the beginning of the guidance that changed the course of human history. The Qur'an is the final message from Allah for all of humanity, and its revelation began on this blessed night. Because of this, Muslims around the world spend this night reciting the Qur'an, reflecting on its meaning, and thanking Allah for the guidance He has given to mankind. Another reason why Laylatul Qadr is so important is that it is a night when the mercy and forgiveness of Allah are widely available. The Prophet Muhammad taught that whoever stands in prayer on Laylatul Qadr with sincere faith and hope for reward from Allah will have their previous sins forgiven. This is a powerful reminder that no matter how many mistakes a person may have made in the past, Allah's door of forgiveness is always open. Laylatul Qadr gives believers a chance to start fresh, to turn back to Allah with sincerity, and to ask for His mercy. During this blessed night, angels descend to the earth in great numbers with peace and blessings by the command of Allah. The entire night is filled with tranquility and divine mercy until the break of dawn. It is a time when prayers are accepted, hearts soften, and believers feel a deep connection with their Creator. Because of this, Muslims try to spend the night in worship, performing voluntary prayers, making dua, remembering Allah, and seeking forgiveness. Laylatul Qadr reminds us that Ramadan is not just about fasting from food and drink, but about strengthening our relationship with Allah. It encourages believers to increase their indiyozon, purify their intentions, and focus on spiritual growth. This night is a gift from Allah to the Ummah of the Prophet Muhammad giving them an opportunity to gain rewards that could equal a lifetime of worship. Understanding the importance of Laylatul Qadr motivates Muslims to take the last 10 nights of Ramadan very seriously. Instead of treating them like ordinary nights, believers stay awake in worship, hoping that their prayers, du'as, and acts of devotion will coincide with this incredibly blessed night. For anyone seeking closeness to Allah, forgiveness for their sins, and immense rewards, Laylatul Qadr is truly one of the greatest opportunities of the entire year. One of the most beautiful wisdoms behind Laylatul Qadr is that Allah did not reveal its exact date. Instead of telling believers precisely which night it is, Allah kept it hidden within the last 10 nights of Ramadan. This hidden nature encourages Muslims to increase their worship, devotion, and sincerity during these final nights of the blessed month. If the exact night had been clearly known, many people might have focused their worship on that single night and neglected the rest. By keeping it unknown, Allah motivates believers to stay spiritually active throughout the last part of Ramadan. The Prophet Muhammad guided the Muslim community to search for Laylatul Qadr in the last 10 nights of Ramadan, especially during the odd nights. These include the 21st, 23rd, 25th, 27th, and 29th nights. Because of this teaching, Muslims around the world try to spend these nights in prayer, recitation of the Qur'an, remembrance of Allah, and sincere supplication. Many believers also practice itikaf during the last 10 days of Ramadan, staying in the mosque and dedicating their time entirely to worship and reflection. This wisdom teaches an important lesson about consistency and indulul. Islam encourages believers to remain constant in their worship rather than relying on occasional bursts of devotion. When Muslims search for Laylatul Qadr across several nights, they naturally increase their prayers, their dawahs, and their connection with Allah over a longer period. This strengthens their faith and builds a habit of turning to Allah regularly. The hidden nature of Laylatul Qadr also tests the sincerity of believers. Those who truly desire the pleasure of Allah will continue striving in worship night after night, even though they are not certain which night holds the greatest reward. Their intention is not just to gain a reward from one specific moment, but to seek the mercy and closeness of Allah throughout the entire period. This effort reflects genuine faith and dedication. Another wisdom behind hiding the exact date is that it creates excitement, hope, and anticipation among believers. Each of the last 10 nights becomes special and meaningful. Muslims approach every night with the hope that it might be Laylatul Qadr. This sense of hope encourages them to pray longer, make more dua, and remember Allah more frequently. The heart remains connected to Allah as believers wait for the possibility that this could be the night that changes their lives forever. In addition, this wisdom reminds believers that the true goal of Ramadan is not limited to a single night of worship, but to develop a stronger relationship with Allah throughout the entire month. By searching for Laylatul Qadr across multiple nights, Muslims learn patience, discipline, and spiritual focus. These qualities help them grow in faith and continue their injotlo even after Ramadan ends. Ultimately, the hidden date of Laylatul Qadr is a mercy and blessing from Allah. It encourages believers to maximize their efforts, increase their good deeds, and seek forgiveness with sincerity. Through this process, the final nights of Ramadan become a time of intense spiritual growth, reflection, and hope for Allah's mercy and acceptance. One of the commonly mentioned signs of Laylatul Qadr is that the night feels extremely peaceful and calm. Unlike ordinary nights, there is a special sense of tranquility that fills the atmosphere. The environment seems quiet, balanced, and free from disturbance. The wind is gentle, the air feels comfortable, and the night carries a unique sense of serenity. Many scholars and believers throughout history have described this calmness as one of the noticeable characteristics of this blessed night. This peacefulness is not only about the physical environment, but also about the emotional and spiritual feeling within the heart of a believer. During Laylatul Qadr, many people experience a deep sense of comfort and closeness to Allah. Their hearts feel lighter, their worries seem to fade, and their focus shifts entirely toward worship and remembrance of their Creator. Even people who may feel tired after a long day of fasting often find unusual energy and motivation to continue praying and making dua throughout the night. The calmness of Laylatul Qadr is closely connected to the presence of angels who descend to the earth by the command of Allah. Islamic teachings mention that countless angels come down during this blessed night, bringing peace and blessings. Because of this, the night becomes filled with mercy and tranquility. The angels spread throughout the earth, joining believers in their worship and asking Allah to forgive those who sincerely seek His mercy. This divine presence contributes to the special, peaceful feeling that many believers notice. Another aspect of this calm night is that it is free from harmful or extreme conditions. The weather usually feels balanced and comfortable. There are no strong storms, violent winds, or disturbing weather patterns. Instead, the night carries a gentle atmosphere that allows believers to focus on prayer, Qur'an recitation, and remembrance of Allah without distraction. This peaceful environment helps create the perfect moment for reflection and spiritual connection. Many people who have experienced a night they believe to be Laylatul Qadr describe a unique sense of inner peace that is difficult to explain. Some feel an unusual calmness in their hearts, while others notice that worship feels easier and more meaningful than usual. Tears may come naturally during prayer, and the heart feels deeply connected to Allah. These feelings encourage believers to continue making dua, asking for forgiveness, and expressing gratitude to Allah for His countless blessings. However, it is important to remember that the peacefulness of Laylatul Qadr is not always something that can be measured or confirmed with certainty. Different people may experience the night in different ways. Some may feel a strong emotional impact, while others may simply continue their worship without noticing anything unusual. The true reward of Laylatul Qadr lies in the sincerity of a person's dunya sign and their intention to please Allah. Because of this, Muslims are encouraged not to rely only on signs, but to dedicate themselves to worship during all of the last 10 nights of Ramadan. By doing so, they increase their chances of witnessing Laylatul Qadr and receiving the immense rewards that come with it. The peaceful and calm nature of this night serves as a beautiful reminder of the mercy and blessings that Allah sends down upon His servants during this special time. Another sign that is often mentioned regarding Laylatul Qadr is that the weather during that night feels moderate and pleasant. It is described as a night that is neither too hot nor too cold. Instead, the temperature feels comfortable and balanced, creating an environment that is calm and suitable for worship. This gentle atmosphere allows believers to spend the night in prayer, reciting the Qur'an, and making dua without being distracted by uncomfortable weather conditions. Many Islamic scholars have mentioned narrations that describe Laylatul Qadr as a night of softness and ease. The air feels light and refreshing, and the environment seems calm and stable. There are usually no extreme weather conditions such as strong winds, heavy storms, or intense heat. The night carries a sense of balance that reflects the peace and mercy that Allah sends down during this blessed time. This pleasant weather can also help believer focus more deeply on their soul. During Ramadan, people spend the entire day fasting, which can sometimes leave them feeling tired by the evening. However, when the night is calm and comfortable, it becomes easier to stand in prayer for longer periods, recite the Qur'an with concentration, and make heartfelt supplications to Allah. The moderate temperature creates an atmosphere that encourages worship rather than causing physical discomfort. Another beautiful aspect of this sign is that it reflects the mercy of Allah toward His servants. Laylatul Qadr is a night when Allah's blessings and forgiveness are abundant. The balanced and gentle weather can be seen as part of the peaceful environment that Allah creates for His dunya. It is as if the entire creation becomes calm and supportive of the acts of worship taking place on that night. Some believers who have experienced nights that they believe were Laylatul Qadr describe the weather as feeling unusually pleasant compared to other nights of Ramadan. The air might feel cooler than expected or more comfortable than usual. This does not necessarily mean that the weather will be exactly the same in every place around the world, because climates vary from region to region. However, the general idea is that the night carries a sense of calmness and balance rather than harsh or extreme conditions. At the same time, it is important to remember that these signs are not meant to be used as the only way to determine whether a night is Laylatul Qadr. The purpose of mentioning these signs is to give believers an idea of some characteristics that may appear, but the exact night remains known only to Allah. Because of this, Muslims are encouraged to seek Laylatul Qadr by increasing their worship during all of the last 10 nights of Ramadan, rather than focusing on one specific night. When believers understand this wisdom, they become more motivated to dedicate themselves fully during the final nights of the blessed month. They pray more sincerely, make more dua, and spend more time remembering Allah. The moderate and pleasant atmosphere of the night becomes another reminder of the peace and mercy that Allah grants to His servants during this special time. Ultimately, the true success of Laylatul Qadr is not only in recognizing the signs, but in using the opportunity to sincerely turn to Allah. Whether the weather feels noticeably different or not, the believer continues to worship with hope, faith, and gratitude, seeking the immense rewards that Allah has promised for those who strive during this blessed night. Another important sign that many believers associate with Laylatul Qadr is the strong spiritual feeling that people experience during this blessed night. While some signs of Laylatul Qadr relate to the physical environment, such as calm weather or a gentle sunrise, this sign is connected to the condition of the heart and the soul. Many believers describe feeling a deep sense of closeness to Allah on this night, as if their hearts become softer and more focused on worship. During Laylatul Qadr, a believer may feel an unusual motivation to pray longer and with greater sincerity. Even if someone feels tired after a full day of fasting, they may suddenly find the energy and desire to stand in prayer for extended periods of time. Reciting the Qur'an may feel more meaningful, and the words of Allah may touch the heart more deeply than usual. This feeling often encourages believers to continue their imbuso throughout the night. Another part of this spiritual experience is the emotional connection that many people feel during their prayers and supplications. Tears may come more easily, and the heart may feel humbled in front of Allah. Believers often reflect on their past mistakes, ask for forgiveness, and make sincere promises to improve their lives. This emotional response is a sign that the heart is becoming more aware of Allah's presence and mercy. Many people also feel a strong sense of hope during Laylatul Qadr. They realize that this night is an opportunity to ask Allah for anything they need, whether it is forgiveness, guidance, relief from difficulties, or blessings for their families. Because the rewards of this night are so great, believers feel encouraged to make long and sincere du'as. They raise their hands to Allah with hope and trust, believing that their prayers are being heard. This spiritual atmosphere is closely connected to the mercy that Allah sends down during Laylatul Qadr. Islamic teachings mention that angels descend to the earth in large numbers during this night, bringing peace and blessings by the command of Allah. Their presence fills the night with tranquility, and this spiritual environment can influence the hearts of believers who are engaged in worship. However, it is important to remember that not every person will experience the exact same feelings during Laylatul Qadr. Some people may feel a strong emotional impact, while others may continue their worship quietly without noticing any unusual feelings. The absence of strong emotions does not mean that a person has missed the blessings of the night. What matters most is the sincerity of a believer's intention and their effort to seek the pleasure of Allah. Because of this, Muslims are encouraged to focus on their amjutio, rather than trying to search for specific emotional signs. The goal is to spend the last 10 nights of Ramadan in sincere worship, hoping that their prayers and good deeds will coincide with Laylatul Qadr. When a believer prays, recites the Qur'an, and makes dua with a sincere heart, they open the door to Allah's mercy and forgiveness. Ultimately, the deep spiritual feeling that many people experience during Laylatul Qadr serves as a reminder of the powerful connection between a believer and their Creator. It is a moment when hearts turn completely toward Allah, seeking His mercy, forgiveness, and guidance. This connection is one of the greatest blessings that a believer can experience during the sacred nights of Ramadan. One of the most well-known signs associated with Laylatul Qadr appears on the morning that follows the blessed night. According to authentic Islamic narrations, the sun rises in a unique and gentle way after Laylatul Qadr. It appears soft and calm without strong or sharp rays. Instead of the usual bright and intense sunlight that people often see in the morning, the sun looks mild and peaceful, almost like a glowing disk in the sky. This beautiful sign has been mentioned in various teachings and has been observed by many believers throughout history. This gentle sunrise reflects the peace and tranquility that fills the night of Laylatul Qadr. Throughout the night, angels descend to the earth with blessings and mercy by the command of Allah. The entire night is described as a time of peace until the break of dawn. As the night ends and the new day begins, the calm and balanced sunrise serves as a reminder of the blessings that were present during the night. Many scholars explain that the sun rising without strong rays is a sign that becomes noticeable after the night has passed. This means that people may only realize the possibility of Laylatul Qadr once they observe the sunrise the next morning. Because of this, Muslims are encouraged not to rely on this sign to determine whether they should worship during the night. Instead, they should dedicate themselves to Dindu, Shosain during all of the last 10 nights of Ramadan, so they do not miss the immense reward. Believers who have witnessed a sunrise that appears soft and gentle often describe it as a very peaceful and beautiful moment. The sky may look calm, and the sunlight spreads gradually without the intense brightness that is usually present. Some people notice that it is easy to look toward the sun during this time without discomfort, because its rays are not sharp or burning. These observations have been mentioned by many individuals who felt that the previous night might have been Laylatul Qadr. However, it is important to understand that natural conditions can vary depending on location, climate, and weather patterns. In some places, clouds or environmental factors may affect how the sunrise appears. Because of this, scholars emphasize that this sign should not be the only factor used to determine whether Laylatul Qadr has occurred. The true value of the night lies in the worship performed and the sincerity of a believer's heart. The mention of this sign mainly serves as a reminder of the special nature of Laylatul Qadr. It shows that even the natural world reflects the peace and blessings of this extraordinary night. From the calm atmosphere during the night to the gentle sunrise in the morning, everything points toward the mercy that Allah sends down upon His servants. For believers, the most important lesson is to remain consistent in worship throughout the last 10 nights of Ramadan. Instead of trying to confirm the exact night through signs, Muslims should focus on increasing their prayers, reciting the Qur'an, making sincere dua, and asking Allah for forgiveness. When a person spends these nights sincerely seeking Allah's mercy, they greatly increase their chances of experiencing the rewards of Laylatul Qadr. In the end, the soft and gentle sunrise is a beautiful sign that reminds believers of the peace and blessings that accompany the night of decree. It serves as a reflection of the divine mercy that fills the earth during this sacred time and encourages believers to continue striving in worship and devotion.